If your team handles the obvious work, and the minute something gets unclear, it lands back on your desk, something in your business is off. It's not effort, it's not culture, and it's not talent. It's that unclear decisions always rise to the top. And in the next few minutes, I'll show you the weekly reset that stops that pattern. Welcome to the Entrepreneur Strategic Briefing, where we cut through surface problems and uncover the moves that top CEOs use to scale with confidence. Unclear decisions don't disappear, they escalate. Not formally, not intentionally, they just seem to drift upward. Because when that happens, the safest place for the decision to land is back with you. Not because you demand control, but because the structure doesn't protect ownership under pressure. And that's the pattern. Here's where many founders go next. They add more systems, more dashboards, documentation, tools, but the systems don't define authority. And if ownership isn't structurally clear, the systems will just make ambiguity more visible. And then you become the interpreter. You become the final filter. That's why sometimes more systems equals more chaos. Not because systems are wrong, I live them every day, but because clarity has to come first. That's exactly why this week's framework fix, the System Clarity Gap Finder, exists. It identifies where your business is relying on verbal alignment instead of structural definition. It'll help you measure decision authority clarity, escalation structure, founder approval dependency, and standardized quality expectations. If decisions keep rising back to you, this diagnostic will show you why. You'll find the link in the description below. So let's talk about that reset we mentioned. Now, this is not a team meeting format. This is an owner discipline. Once per week, you review 3 questions. What decisions rose back to me this week? Why did they rise? And what structural definition would have prevented that? That's it. No blame, no performance review, no frustration, just pattern acknowledgement and correction. Over time, you'll find that something shifts. Instead of absorbing decisions, you reinforce ownership. Instead of reacting to ambiguity, you remove it. Now, most founders ask, why aren't my people handling this? But the better question is, what in your structure allowed this to rise? That question changes your posture. You stop operating the business and you start engineering it. You begin clarifying who truly owns what, when escalation is required, what standard defines completion, and most importantly, where approval is necessary and where it isn't. This is the bridge from stabilization into systemization. Profit gave you breathing room, but clarity protects your role. Chaos isn't noise, chaos is recurring uncertainty. And recurring uncertainty always moves upward. When you interrupt that drift weekly, you protect your ownership, the escalation paths, and the standards that make you successful. Slowly, you'll find the invisible weight starts lifting. It's not because you worked harder, but because decisions stopped rising. If you want to see whether your current structure is protecting clarity or quietly allowing decisions to rise back to you, run the System Clarity Gap Finder. It'll show you exactly where structural definition is missing, and that's where the chaos begins. I'm Randy Bridges, and this has been the Entrepreneur Strategic Briefing, where we cut through surface problems and uncover the moves that top CEOs use to scale with confidence. I'll see you again next week.